What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Jenks Island Podcast, the only NFL podcast where you get your takes from washed-up Division III cornerback and his friends. Ty and I today are breaking down the biggest trades we've seen in a while this offseason. It's been pretty quiet the last few weeks outside of the draft, and obviously when Myles Garrett gets traded to the Rams, and then obviously the expected A.J. Brown trade happen, we got to break them down for you guys. We apologize for being a few days late to the news. Obviously, we had some scheduling conflicts that pushed us to today. I'm going to try to get this out. We're recording it at 3, right around 4 o'clock on Friday. I'm going to try to get out by 5 for you guys so you guys can listen to it after work. But we're going to be breaking down both of those trades in today's episode. And then next week, we're going to be doing our redraft for the restructuring the NFL video we just did last week. If you guys want to go check that out. Most watched video ever, most liked video ever on the channel. So we're very proud and happy that you guys enjoyed that. So make sure to go check that out if you haven't yet, and then come back to here. But next week, we'll be doing the redraft for that, all 36 teams starting from scratch, things like that. We'll break that down in that episode. But Ty, getting right into the focus of today's episode, Myles Garrett gets traded to the Rams from the Browns for Jared Verse, a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third. That can be a first if he is traded back to the AFC North by the Rams. What are your thoughts on this deal? Do you think one team won more than the other team? And do you think that this creates an unparalleled rival or unparalleled foe for all these NFC teams to compete against this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think at the end of the day, it's a pretty even trade. I think that both sides certainly won this trade, right? I think getting Jared Verse and a first round pick this year for, a team that is trending in the right direction with the way that they've drafted in the past couple of years, outside of the quarterback move for Deshaun Watson, Andrew Barry in this front office has really hit home run after home run after home run, right? They just haven't been able to find the quarterback position, and they tried it with the trade, and then they took two guys in, the third and the fifth round, and we don't really hold that over them. But I think this is, next year, if they find a quarterback, that's how the Cleveland Browns win this trade, right? They go in with 2 first-round picks. They have the capital to move up if necessary in a loaded quarterback draft. The Browns win this trade by just finding a quality quarterback in next year's draft. They get Jared Verse, who is an all-pro type of player, 25 years old, top 3 in the league in pressures, only behind Myles Garrett. And I believe the other one was, I'm blanking on who the other one was.
Yeah,
maybe TJ Watt or someone along the lines of that. But top 3 with the guy he just got traded for, right? So, Jared Verse, an awesome addition to an awesome defense. The defense around Myles Garrett was already very good and won them a lot of games last year. So the first round pick, the second and the third, maybe they would have liked for that to be another first, but still quality picks in future drafts that they've had high success in those day 1 and day 2 drafts. So I think the Browns did a really great job. The Rams, I mean, obviously this is a home run. They're all in right now, right? Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, right? They went all in on the defensive side, which was something that we talked about, as a bit of a weakness for them last year, right? They had the good defensive front. The secondary was weak, but then you make a huge upgrade. Obviously I'm saying Jared Verse is a great player, but Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the NFL, at least in the front 7 by far, right? So, I think I still think that NFC teams have a chance to compete. I mean, we can't count out Seattle, right? They were competing with them all last year. They have a pretty good offensive line. I just think that it definitely does make the Rams the favorite in the NFC. But listen, any given Sunday, any team can win. I think, it's easy to say on June 5th that, the Rams no one can compete with them. But at the end of the day, I mean, you have a good offensive line. You have the ability to neutralize, as hard as it is. Myles Garrett has gone periods of time, right, late last season where he was neutralized for week over week. Garrett Bowles has been, as a Denver Broncos fan, he's been able to neutralize Myles Garrett in the past, right? So I think that this is a huge, up for them. And I think that if you're on that Rams defensive line, right, if you're Byron Young or if you're Braden Fisk, you're loving this because you're going to get less attention. I just don't think that it far and away makes the Rams such a good team that, they have nothing to worry about, right? They have an older quarterback who's had back injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They have a running back who's been fumble, prone. They have an offensive line that isn't that great of an offensive line if we're going to really get down to it. They disguise it with 13 personnel and the play action game and, the different things that Matt Stafford can do with his arm to make it not look as bad of an offensive line, but it's not fantastic, right? We went into this draft saying that offensive line could have been a need for them. So I definitely think that there's still holes on this team. It just happens to be one of those teams that's so star studded that we can overlook those holes. But I think at the end of the day, if a team finds a way, like the Seattle Seahawks with Mike McDonald, who's done a fantastic job of generating pressure against no matter who they're playing against. I think that there's holes that you can poke in this team and still win a football game and beat them in big games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on both fronts. I think the Browns, this is a great trade for them. I saw, and I'll bring this up, the Stay Hot podcast. If you haven't tuned into that before, everyone should go listen to them. Another three guys that are great at analyzing football, and it's a good, fun listen. One of them is Bladen is a Browns fan, and he's really low on the trade just because he loves Myles Garrett, yada, yada, yada. But at some point, it's not a one-for-one trade. They're not trading Myles Garrett because his point was that you're gonna have to pay Jared Verse again, just like you paid Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is six years older than him, I want to say, than Jared Verse. So you're getting another 6 years of youth and talent from Jared Verse. He's not at his prime, his peak yet. He's only going to go up from here. So you're getting all of that. Yes, you're gonna have to pay him, but you also get that draft capital, like you mentioned, and they've been hitting on those picks. So I really, really like what it does for their team. It adds more versatility. It fits more with what they're building towards and their just current standing of a team. Myles Garrett didn't fit their standing as a non-Super Bowl contender. Like, it just didn't really match for them. So that trade works for them. The Rams, I love that you brought up their other defensive linemen because Braden Fisk, Byron Young, both very, very solid players. You
Kobe
add Myles,
Turner.
yeah, Kobe Turner as well. He's more in the middle, I believe. And
Yeah.
it's just when you look at that, like you said, the Broncos were able to neutralize Myles Garrett, but that's more because they didn't have as much on the defensive line. Yes, it's still an insane thing to do is just neutralizing Myles Garrett in general. But you could focus on him a little bit more. When he's on this front with the Rams, now you're going to have to focus on other guys as well. So you can't really just put 2 to 3 guys to focus on Myles Garrett. You're going to have him against maybe one, maybe two, and then the other guys might be able to feast a little bit more. So it just adds a lot more to think about when you go against that Rams defense. But Ty, I think, we talked about this when the draft happened. That number 14 pick with Ty Simpson makes less and less sense, especially considering when you make this trade. I think if they wanted to go all in, and yes, maybe they think, hey, we have our guy for the future. We don't need picks anymore because we already have that new quarterback. But if Ty Simpson doesn't pan out, you've handcuffed yourself to a future that doesn't necessarily exist. And I think that is what makes it interesting. If you're going to go all in, knowing they were kind of maybe talking about a Myles Garrett trade, if they were interested in it, they should have probably made a pick like Mekhi Lemon to bolster the offense even more, an O lineman, something like that, just to add even more to compete right now. So that move, that pick going for Ty Simpson doesn't make as much sense to me with this trade. But what are your thoughts on that? Should they? Do you think that's still a fine pick? But I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor was that they weren't going to do this trade if they hadn't taken quarterback at
Interesting.
14 or 13, whatever it was. So, they felt that they can give up the future capital because they have their long-term quarterback. Because
Mhm.
the situation with Matthew Stafford is, he's year to year at this point, pretty much.
Yep.
You don't know how much time he realistically has, right? One bad hit, and next season he's not going to want to go through that pain again.
Yeah.
So there's a lot up in the air. Myles Garrett obviously goes beyond Matthew Stafford, probably in terms of how long he's an LA Ram, as long as they can afford to
Yeah.
keep him. So I think it made sense. I mean, obviously they are all in right now, so you would have thought, okay, they would definitely go all in with a 20, their 2026 pick and get and just add more talent. That's going to help the team right now. But the Rams have kind of been a confusing team in past drafts, right? Where they took Ty Simpson. They took Max Clare in a tight end room that's already
Mhm.
very crowded with Higbee and Terrence Ferguson, a guy they took last year, right? Josiah
They
Stewart,
took
like
him high
last year,
too.
like they just have
Ferguson was
made
high.
some very interesting and questionable, you know, picks in the past couple drafts that a lot of people have been questioning, and I don't know. I just think they're doing in the draft, to be honest. So I think that what they do in free agency and the trade is very separated from the decision to take a quarterback at 14. But I think that, yeah, if you're all in, you should have probably taken a tackle. But the Rams are the Rams. They will do what the Rams want to do.
Yeah. And I will say, as far as the rest of the NFC goes, I do think that it makes, some other NFC teams maybe make a move to go all in or try to compete a little bit more with this move being added to the Rams. Maybe teams say, okay, we got to add something a little bit more to our team. But outside of that, I don't think it's a drastic measure where all these teams are like, "Oh shit, it's unbeatable." That was the instant reaction. I mean, we all kind of texted the group chat like, "Yeah, the Rams are Super Bowl favorites." I think they are 100%. Their odds are
Yeah,
probably very high now or low, I should say, to or the odds are high to win the Super Bowl. The payouts would be low. But I think they are the team to beat by pretty significant margin. I mean, already when we did our team ranking episode, you had them up there before this trade. So
yeah.
again, I think the Rams will be the Super Bowl favorite. And it, Myles Garrett, I mean, shit, it's going to be tough to beat this team. I just don't know what else to say.
I'll say this though. When was the last time an odds-on favorite in June won the Super Bowl? Pretty
That is
much the
true.
Kansas City Chiefs, and that's about it. And they were in the midst of a dynasty. So,
Yep.
one bad thing goes awry, and all of a sudden, and again, you have a good enough offensive line. You're not that worried about this, right? If you're some of the
Yeah.
better offensive line, if you're the San Francisco 49ers, are you necessarily worried about this if Trent Williams is coming back? Like, not really, right? You should have
Mhm.
some confidence enough in your team that with a good offensive line, you can neutralize some of these guys. So, listen, I think that yes, they're the odds-on favorite, but are they the most unbeatable team? Now, the last time we saw a super team, remember the
Mhm.
Philadelphia Eagles in like 2009? That team went out and sucked. Do I think that the Rams will go out and suck? No, but I just don't think that they're as unbeatable of a team as we're discussing. And one other piece on the Browns thing with what Bladen said about, oh, we're gonna have to pay Jared Verse. Paying Myles Garrett wasn't the problem, right? Myles Garrett has been paid.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to be there, right? He wanted to win. He wasn't happy with the organization.
Yeah.
They've kind of mishandled some things with him. Pay Jared Verse. Who cares, right? You've
They
deferred
have
you've
room.
gotten rid of a lot of the Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
money, so you don't owe him as much. Eventually that comes off the books entirely if he sucks, and you're paying a rookie quarterback. What are you scared of paying a 25-year-old edge rusher who's top 3 in the league in pressures? I think that's a bit of a silly point about, having to pay him because Myles Garrett's already been paid.
And that's one of my things. I mean, if you look at the other side of the books too, I mean, the Rams, how are they affording this after the next couple of seasons? I mean, their salary cap, they're gonna have to. I mean, it's insane how they're managing that right now. I mean, I just looked at Spot Rack right now. I think it's just Spot Rack.
Spotrac.
Track. That's how you. There you go. Either potato.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, yeah.
anyways, yeah, no, he's only added $8 million cap hit for this season. So they have it managed for this season at least, but when you look at future seasons, I want to see how they manage it, things like that. And like you said, Matt Stafford, year to year, he's only 38. If his back somehow heals, things like that, maybe he plays a couple more seasons and maybe we're looking at a Rams, not dynasty, but you're looking at a Rams going on a couple seasons of runs, and that's possible too.
Listen, they're the OGs of managing cap though, because the Cronkies are so rich, right, that they just end up putting a lot of, salary into bonuses that doesn't count
Mhm.
against the cap. They've been doing this for a decade now, right? Like we've seen this
It's
since
been a
like
while.
Jared Goff Super Bowl, and they started trading away all their picks. Like that's pretty much, how they've
Yeah.
handled this roster is go out, get superstars, defer the money into bonuses, and then you don't have to worry about the cap. And yeah, like you mentioned, maybe Stafford, takes a pay cut because he's getting older. I think he
Mhm.
already deferred some of the money into bonus as well. So, you know, that organization has really given teams the blueprint of how
Mhm.
to do cap gymnastics, and it's truly remarkable, but in that time, they've only won 1 Super Bowl, so
Yeah, so I think what we're trying to say is just that both teams win for what their timelines are here. I think it is a great trade for both sides, and I don't think it's as lopsided as some people made it feel like with just because you move Myles Garrett doesn't mean it's a loss for the Browns. It helps them, it helps the Rams. It's a great trade. And also, I will say this, it gets him out of their conference as well. So you're moving him out of your conference. It hurts the NFC. Sucks for me as a fan, as an NFC team fan. AFC though, you just lost Myles
I'm
Garrett, so
happy.
both sides are happy for both teams. So it is a
And
very good
he's
trade.
probably not coming back to the AFC with that
Yeah,
whole clause
yeah,
that they put in there with the 2029 third turning into a first if he gets sent back into the division. So
yeah. That's such an awesome, just little clause they added, just because you're just saying, yeah, we're not going to have to deal with this guy ever again in our division, so we're happy. And if
and
the Rams
we'll
decide
take
to
a
do that, I mean,
we'll
you're
take a
getting
first when he's 33 years old.
exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Myles Garrett keeps his prime up for 5 more years, but it's gonna be tough.
But if the Rams are trading Myles Garrett, odds
Yeah.
are that that pick might be pretty high.
Yeah. And it's also because it would probably be more of like a financial thing. Maybe they won their rings, they're able to move
Yeah.
on now, and would be happy for everyone. But we'll move on from the Myles Garrett trade. Moving on to the AJ Brown trade, Ty. AJ Brown gets moved to the Patriots. Obviously, that was the expectation this whole offseason. June 1st hits, he gets traded. That's what happened. A 2028 first and the better of New England's two 2027 fifth round picks. What are your thoughts on this deal?
Yeah, I mean, first for Philly, right? You trade a first and a third in what 2022. You go out and you win a Super Bowl with this guy, and then you're able to
Mhm.
flip him 4 years later for another first. Now, granted, 2028 first, right? Um,
A little bit more
Kind of
unknown.
shocked by that. Yeah, like I would have thought it would have been a 2027 first, but a first at the end of the day. The Eagles are still in a prime position to compete, right? They replaced him with Makai Lemon in the draft. Um, I think that's a win for Philadelphia, especially knowing that guy didn't want to be in the building. The
Mhm.
relationship between him and Jalen Hurts had crumbled. Apparently, a lot of off the field stuff. Maybe AJ was having an affair, and uh, Jalen's girlfriend, was like, "You can't hang around with him," is the rumor that I was hearing. So, like just a good situation to get that out of your locker room. We saw how much turmoil there was last season. Allegedly, he was also like telling the media some of these stories to like hype them up. I mean, that's an
Yeah.
absurd thing. So, get that out of your locker room. You get a first and a fifth. I think that's a great deal for Philadelphia. For the Patriots, right? You had to do this because you needed wide receiver help desperately. We saw how bad their weapons were, even with Steph Diggs last year. They obviously brought in Romeo Dobbs and now they bring in AJ Brown. There was all this hype around it. Like you kind of had to make the move at this point in time. The first doesn't kill you in 2028, right? You got a young quarterback who's playing at an MVP level and
Yeah.
you're an ascending team. The biggest concerns are what does AJ Brown do to your locker room? I know he's back with Mike Vrabel, but we've seen him with his best friend before turn into a bad situation. What's up with the knee injury, right? There's some of that degenerative knee stuff that we're talking about. I don't know
Yep.
exactly what's going on with the knee, but there's some rumors that, the knee is not fantastic. He's also a little bit older, right? I think he's 28 or 29.
He'll be
The
29 by the season. Yeah.
so how long does he have left? I think it's a good move for the Patriots. They had to do it, right? But there are some question marks about what does it bring to your locker room, the long-term health. I don't think as much as Myles Garrett like made the Rams such a, unbeatable team to most people. I don't really think that this did that for New England, right? We still have a lot of questions about new running back situation. Um, they crumbled, and there's a lot of question
Yeah.
marks still around this team before we consider them, this unbeatable team in the AFC. I mean, they to be honest, they weren't even the best team in the AFC last year. They
Yeah,
should have
they wouldn't
lost
have
to,
made it.
Buffalo would have beat them in the playoffs. Denver would have beat them at full health.
Mhm.
So, but still a lot of question marks.
Yeah, they're a team that yes, you made the Super Bowl this past season. You're trying to make a move to go all in to be back there next year. Like you said, I don't think they would have beat the Bills or a healthy Broncos team. I definitely don't think they would have been able to beat a healthy Broncos team. And like you said, the weapons last season, Stephon Diggs, we talked about that ourselves, especially in the group chat about is Stephon Diggs truly a receiver one for them? I didn't really think he was. Um, And obviously, you lose him, you add Romeo Dubs, who I think is a really solid addition. I think that's gonna be kind of overlooked going into the season. He's gonna be a really good receiver too for them, especially if AJ Brown is able to create pressure on the defenses, making them focus on him. Romeo Dubs is pretty solid hands. I'll let Hammer kind of the comment whatever he's going to say about Romeo Dubs. Maybe he hates him now because he left, but I think that Romeo Dubs is a solid weapon and a solid option for them. In addition, you have Kayshawn Booty and a bunch of
How
other
long?
younger guys.
How
What?
long do you have Keyshawn Booty? Because he just said
Was
he
like
would be
one.
happy with the trade.
Shit, I didn't see that. I think he's
Yeah.
there at least this season. I think he's there at least this season. If not, I'm happy if I'm a team that I'm getting Kayshawn Booty because I like what he provides as an
Yeah.
option as a deep route runner
But the
for
New York
them.
Giants should go offer a third round pick for Keyshawn Booty tomorrow.
And they could trade one of their, they could add one of their little depth receivers to that option as well.
Send Darius Slayton over there.
He's been there for however many years, and he
He's
catches like 1 or 2
garbage.
touchdowns a year, has a solid game here or there, doesn't really provide much else the whole season. Yeah, and I think, right, when you look at this for the Patriots, your offense becomes more of a threat, so it's less pressure on your defense to shut down the other team. That's a great plus. And like you said, I mean, you're just getting 2 in totality of this offseason, getting Dubs and Brown, you're adding so much more opportunities for your young quarterback to throw to. I think both of these guys are creative, can move around, and I think both of them can work with him moving around as a guy that's more of a mobile quarterback, will make things happen in the pocket, go on the run, will be rolling out, find someone open. Both of those guys can do that for him as well. When you look at the Eagles, the trade made too much sense. Like you said, there was absolutely turmoil for within this locker room for the last 2 seasons, it felt like. I mean, this past season, yes, there was some. The year before that, there was even rumors that he could have been traded because it just did not seem like the two were on the same page a lot of the time. You had him on the sideline causing drama, reading books on the sideline, just weird stuff for an NFL wide receiver to be doing. And it's like, what the hell is happening? Yes, he helped you because he is such a great player, but at some point, you're just like, we got to move on from him. And they reached that point, and it was the right move, 100%. Yes, they have a new offense coming in now. Maybe he would have produced and been happy in this new offense. But like you said, it's too far gone in this situation. So I'm happy they moved on from him. Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon should be a solid duo for that team. A little bit undersized. Maybe they need to add a bigger guy now. But I think both of those guys will be really solid for them. So I like this trade for both sides as well. What are your thoughts on the Eagles, receiver room now without AJ Brown?
I mean, they have some bigger guys, right? They did bring in Dontavian Wicks. They have, Eli Stowers, who kind of plays more like a receiver, and they
Yeah,
have Dallas
he's
Goddard. They do have some. That it's not, of course, it's not AJ Brown, but it's that bigger
yeah.
body. Dallas Goddard at the end of the day is probably going to be your your bigger body jump ball guy. But
Yeah, Dallas Goedert and then Eli Stowers will be the successor. I think Wicks, I need him to stay healthy for more than a few games, and then I'll kind of buy into him because I
yeah,
I bought into him when he was healthy. He had a few games where he's like, okay, this is a guy that you can kind of trust. He also
didn't he
was
have like a three
really
touchdown game against like Dallas?
I think yeah,
He
was it
had some
him?
big
Yeah, he
game.
might have. I'm
I
telling you,
think so.
he pops out every once in a while, but then he's just not healthy. He's never been like a extremely trustworthy target. When him and I went to training camp, he was a really fun player to watch because he was making plays all across the field in training camp. I just want to see him be available for before I really can trust him. Eli Stowers, I liked him a lot, but yeah, I just durability. Can he take
Yeah.
NFL hits? Things like that.
But do
It's one
do
of the
the
questions.
Eagles need that big body receiver? I don't know. Like the way that they're
Mhm.
going to run this offense, it's very much that, Shanahan style offense. It's kind of where Mannion comes from. He comes from Minnesota, obviously. I think that they're going to try to run the ball with Saquon a ton. I think
Definitely,
that
they
Jalen
should.
Hurts will be involved in the run game, get him in the play action game. I mean, think back to the Alabama days, and obviously, maybe this is a reach of some sorts, but at Alabama, Devonta Smith was that guy, right? It was Devonta Smith and John Mechie who were wide
Yep.
receiver one and wide receiver two for Alabama. John Mechie profiles, at least physically, into a very similar role as Mekhi Lemon. Pre ACL injury, he was viewed as a first round, receiver too. So
Yeah.
I think that Devonta Smith kind of can fill that role we just haven't seen him utilized to his full potential because they had AJ Brown. But I mean, this is a 26-year-old receiver who won the Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
He's a dog.
He takes hits. We've seen it numerous times across the NFL, across his career. He's taken numerous hits, and he's a pretty durable guy for his size. We were all worried that he was gonna die on the field because of his weight. It was almost like
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren skinniness going into the NFL, and we were all like, "This guy's bones are going to break." They haven't yet, knock on wood. He's been showing us all up, and he seems durable, and I think if you can get him in fantasy, I definitely would try to because I think he would be a very valuable piece to add in fantasy for sure. So, I'll say that, and let me add this, Ty, in terms of dynasty, what does this trade do for Romeo Dubs, and what does it do for Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon? I wanna ask for those 3 guys.
I think I like it for Romeo Dubs. I think that he, gets a lot of attention off of him because Steph
Mhm.
Diggs, while he was somewhat valuable, wasn't that valuable as a receiver because he was the only guy that they had, right? Booty
Yeah.
couldn't stay healthy. Matt Collins is a nobody, right? They just didn't have fantasy relevant enough guys. So Steph Diggs was kind of, you could circle in on him, right? I think this is
Mhm.
good for Dubs. He's a flex play, see who they're playing, right? Or see how well him and Drake may connect. For Mekhi Lemon, I don't know that I loved Lemon in Philadelphia because of the style of offense that they run.
Yep.
I think that, it's obviously good for him because J. Brown gets out of there and he gets more targets. The biggest one's Devonta, right? This is a great move for Devonta Smith fantasy owners. He becomes, their wide receiver one in an offense that has to throw the football, right? They have to throw the football, and I think they will. And I think they'll be a lot more efficient and, more cohesive with this offense under Sean Mannion, getting rid of an offense that looked like a high school offense at some times,
It was
or
so bad.
create a playbook
Yeah.
that was made by an 8-year-old in Madden. So, it was terrible. It just, concepts didn't mesh together. The things they were just doing just didn't bring a little ability to the team. I think Devonta Smith is a guy that you should go out and get if you can.
And I think that was a big thing for AJ Brown was it was so frustrating because 'cause they're not creating any plays to even get him, like, scheme him open and things like that. It's just it did not it
They were
made no
telling him to
sense.
go run, just run a go, and we'll throw it up to you. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
like,
And
I know he's huge, but like Pat Surtain's guarding him.
at some point, like, they should have moved on from Patullo during the season. They just wouldn't. Like, there was
Yeah,
no
that was
reason they would.
wild. Sirianni
So
should have started calling plays.
yeah, it just made no sense. But at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? It's here now. He's happy. The Eagles are happy with what they got in return. So it's a fine trade for both teams, and it ended up happening exactly how everyone thought it would on June 1st. So it's a fun story to tell as well. Moving on from our trades here, we got something fun for you guys. We're gonna pull up a 20-0. I just now heard about this game today from Ty. Had no clue what it was. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me share my screen. No clue how this is gonna come up because we are just switching around our studio. So we'll see how this impacts us here. Oh, it's perfect. Actually, this is fine.
Perfect.
All right. So Ty, how does this work? You got to walk me through it here.
All right. So first we spin that John.
Okay.
All right. So give us the New York Giants 2006 through 2010. So first we have to pick offensive players, right? And we get to pick a quarterback, a running back, receiver, tight end, and 2 flexes. After you fill out your entire offense, the next 6 picks will be for defense. So realistically, right, you're looking for who for pretty much on your first pick, who had the best season, right? We're looking at
Mhm.
Tiki Barber, 1,600 yards. What else we got here?
I mean, Tiki Barber is probably going to be the best option. You also have Akeem Nicks or Plaxico Burress. Both of those have touchdown production. Yards is kind of like a
I, I
solid receiver, but
I think you could get better than that. One thing that you
yeah,
definitely want to check is, was there a tight end season that was like close to
Sh-
1,000 yards, right? And tight
Shockey
end's
is it?
hard. Shockey a little bit too far away. I think we could
Yeah,
do better or be in that range. So I think Tiki Barber is the
yeah.
choice here.
I mean, 1,600 rushing yards, 400 in the air too. I mean that
5 tuds is pathetic though.
it is very pathetic, but maybe he was. I don't remember this season off the top or off these seasons off the top of my head. Maybe he was getting
Brandon Jacobs.
vultured. Yeah, maybe he's getting vultured a little
Yeah,
bit. Let's see. I
I don't
mean,
remember if Brandon Jacobs.
Ahmad Bradshaw had
2007.
8. So that was
In
that was
2010,
different.
2010 though.
Yeah, that was different. So
Yeah, it might have been Brandon Jacobs if it 2007. I don't know if he was there in
we're
06.
probably have a couple vultures. Let's go with Tiki.
Let's go Tiki. Yeah, that's a good play. And then you got to place him at running back. I think we place running back. Leave your flex open. Maybe we get a couple good receivers.
Minnesota 2006
Minnesota.
AP, right? It's got to be AP or AD, I should say. I always call it
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre's not a bad option. Seven
Not bad.
interceptions, 33
AP
tuds.
18 tuds. Oh my!
I'm telling you, it's
gosh.
got to be AD. You got
Let's check out. Let's check out Sidney Rice. It looks like he had a decent season. If you go down a little bit, 1,300 yards.
Rice is solid. No good.
I mean, 18 tuds. Is it? Put
No
AP
good
in the flex.
You have to. Just for the aura too of the team. We're adding aura points to our team with AD.
I'm questionable morals out of Adrian.
EJ Manuel, we're saved.
No, my God.
Do you remember when that era of the Bills though? Just EJ Manuel was a interesting.
Yeah. Do you remember I mean, look at this quarterback list: Fitzpatrick, Manuel, Kyle Orton, Tyrod Taylor.
Kyle Orton was an electric.
Somehow Kyle Orton wasn't even the worst one.
I know he was actually solid for them for a few.
Shout out former Denver Bronco.
Wow,
this one's just not fantastic. CJ Spiller, Sammy Watkins, Steve Johnson. Shout out. Yeah, I mean,
probably have to
I'll let you pick this one, but it's not pretty.
Damn. I mean, CJ. Oh, yeah, no, I can't go there. I think it would have to be Steve Johnson if I'm looking at it. Most production out of all.
9 touchdowns though. 9 touchdowns, Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of catches
reception.
What
are we valuing? What do you want to value with this pick, Ty? You want to value touchdowns and pray that we get more.
We kind of got to make up for the touchdowns because Tiki did screw us.
Yeah, let's go with Sammy. So that's how it works too. Okay, so it's you're.
Oh, you put him in the flex. Oh no!
We'll
we should have put him at receiver.
We'll be all right. We got this. Jacksonville. Don't even worry.
Oh,
don't even worry.
This team is terrible.
I didn't even think about that. I just put him there. I was like,
dude. Now we won't even see. Right. There might have been a good running back in this era.
Blake Bortles, Ty. Blake Bortles.
Holy shit! No, 13 picks. DJ Chark. They got to have a decent tight end, right? Did Julius Thomas have a decent year?
I think.
Oh my God, he's terrible. 200 yards.
Why running backs?
Because we still have because we can't pick them. Let's just show the people what running back rooms that we could have picked here.
We could have had Leonard Fournette.
How did Lenny have 3 touchdowns? What the hell were they doing?
Lenny.
He's like 250 pounds.
James Robinson had 7. That's wild.
I saw him play. I saw him play at DC Defenders versus the Louisville Kings. Kind of went crazy.
He's on the Louisville team, right?
Yeah. He got thick though.
I mean, I can imagine. I would. Ty, this is tough.
We kind of got to go DJ Chark. This team has capped itself at about 12 wins with DJ Chark.
Definitely.
Got to do it.
Definitely. If anything, we can do. I'm down to do a second round after this. This is a learning
second round. I went 18-2 today. Just putting it out there. First time playing the game.
First time playing.
Kurt Warner. What about tight end though?
Yeah, Kurt he's a solid option.
Oh, tight end, terrible. We have to.
That is.
I mean, look how bad that room is.
4 years, and this is all you're getting.
Oh man, look, and you made us pass up on Edgerrin James.
I apologize.
And
Larry Fitz. I wasn't gonna scroll down to it, Ty, but I just was gonna let it kind of.
And Quan, who had a great year.
I was gonna let it.
Kurt. That's a great year out of Kurt. It's a great year out of Kurt.
Okay.
Tennessee. We need a tight end. We don't have a choice.
Before my
Frank Wycheck have a decent year? Yep, he's the best one.
70.
That's the best we got. All right, on to
Ty,
defense.
this might be a 10-win team, honestly.
This is a good defense, though. Chicago, 2006, 2010. So in defense, what I start to look for, sacks, right? Do we got big sack numbers?
Yeah,
Do we have big interception numbers is another thing I look at. You're going to get a lot of guys with 100-plus tackles, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out. Did Charles Tillman 4 forced fumbles, 3 picks?
Charles
Uh,
Tillman, man, you get the
the peanut punch.
peanut punch in there. You're
That's dangerous.
it's valuable on a team.
3
They
picks,
they
4
had
forced fumbles. I
bro.
think that's good.
He
17 pass deflections?
this is
Come on.
these are some insane numbers just in general from this era of defense. I
4
mean,
years of Bears
Urlacher
football.
too is a
I
dog.
mean, they went to the Super Bowl in what,
You want to put him
2008?
in the flex or cornerback? This is you
Corner,
know this
corner.
part of the game. Okay.
I think we wait.
the
Flex
flex
is
open.
usually a last play, especially on defense. Unless you get a big sack guy.
The Eagles Nick
you gotta
Foles
put him in.
era, but on defense.
Okay. This is solid. Fletcher Cox, interior defensive lineman with a lot of sacks. That's a really
I think
good move.
yeah, you could go DT. I think that would make the most sense. Like you said, you're gonna have 100 tackle guys from the linebacker position. That's not
yeah.
scarce.
And some of these edge rushers can play linebacker too. I got 18-2 with Justin Houston, 20 sacks at
Yeah.
linebacker.
I mean, I would either go.
I'd go
Yeah,
Cox here.
I'm not even looking like.
Pause.
th-
Pause.
Yeah, I mean, safety and corners are just rough. I mean, Patrick Robinson is your best choice for corner here. This team,
No one knows who the hell that guy is.
Saints legend, aka he
Oh,
was actually
yeah, wow.
he's actually the opposite of a Saints legend. He was pretty dog shit for us for a few years, but had his moments.
Holy shit.
Is this the Phil Simms era? No.
No, you're thinking Boomer size.
Yeah.
Okay, so 13 sacks isn't bad.
And there's like nothing. There's
8
like
picks. Oh my God, that safety had 8 picks. Hammer it. And 100 tackles?
hammer that shit. Our defense might be carrying our team, Ty.
We might win 14 games.
All right.
Xavier Howard, 2020. He had 10 picks.
He was up there. Was this the year he had like the few one-handers?
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Got him today as well. He's right there. You missed him. 10 picks. That is massive. Put him in the flex. That's crazy.
Bro, he was such a dog for those years. Got himself a payday, and then
he went to the Colts and was getting dusted by Courtland Sutton this past year.
Fizzled out.
Vegas, Max Crosby, edge, 12.5 sacks. That's the best we got. Maybe there's a linebacker.
Yannick Ngakoue.
Ooh, Denzel Perriman. Oh my God, Devin White.
He had 170 tackles this past season.
2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception.
He was just so unimpressive this year, though. I feel like he just
they suck so much that like every tackle was probably going right to him. Yeah,
we'll put that in there.
All right, now we go edge.
Oh, Ty, here you go.
Elvis Dumerville, 16.5 sacks. 16 wins.
The defense, Ty. The defense turned us around.
That's a 99 defense. Holy shit, that offense is bad. We got to do
the
one
offense.
more.
Yeah, let's do another.
I mean, look at where we rank today. Good God.
Island 1. Save. Let's
That's
see.
a 99 defense. Wow.
Damn, there's a. I mean, people are playing this
20
game
and O's.
endlessly.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
I mean, there's like
this.
70. So we got to do classic. You got to do classic. Both sides. Spin it again.
Here we go.
Now you know what to do.
Come on.
Saints.
Come on.
Bad era for the Saints though.
It's
Deuce
Joe
McAllister
Horn
had a good year.
This is the Joe Horn era right here. Call the phone. Call the phone, Ty.
What about Deuce McAllister? 1,600 yards.
Deuce too. I mean, both.
Up to you.
Touchdown.
This is your Saints.
Let's see. Who has more touchdowns?
11 tuds though.
11 touch, 1,400. I would go Joe Horn.
I'm okay with it.
But I Deuce had.
We saw how bad our wide receiver room was last time.
Yeah, I would go. I feel like. Yeah, let's go with Joe Horn here.
Okay. Like New England, really good era. Brady, I mean, he literally broke.
I mean,
check if Randy Moss had a crazy year. He probably did.
This was the end of his. Yeah.
I mean,
ooh, no, 23 touchdowns.
Come on.
That in the flex.
Now he's got to hope we get Peyton Manning or something. But yeah, put him in the flex.
That was an insane era. Just adding.
I mean, they were cheating. But
it was just.
They were cheating, but.
All right, you get a few options here. We can go Saquon. I mean, come on.
He literally ran for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, you have to go Saquon in this era.
This team like good.
My Achan.
I didn't even know Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, Tyreek.
This team might go 20-0.
We might pull it
Jonnu
off.
Smith had a good year. Wow. Seattle.
He did in the McDaniel.
Okay. Sam Darnold, Geno. We need a tight end. What's the tight ends looking like?
Geno had a better season than Sam Darnold, and all I'm hearing right now is Sam Darnold hype.
AJ Barner. Do we just say
you could take
the AJ Barner?
You do that or 30-11. What are your thoughts? Because either way, we're praying that the next slot is a better. I mean, you're just praying. 30-11, I feel like, is it above average? No, it's like a little bit above average. So I would go with that. But I mean, it's
all right. Let's do it.
That's a wild Geno Smith.
Green Bay.
He had some tight ends. I always keep doing that.
Okay, Jermichael Finley. That's good. I mean,
Jermichael Finley was the pinnacle of like a solid tight end during those seasons. Like this is what we needed.
600 yards, 5 tuds, 55 catches. That's good.
All right, defense.
All right, on to the defense. Green Bay again.
We need Hammer here. We need Hammer for all these Green Bay picks.
Okay, Darius Smith, not bad.
Let's see, they had some solid.
Kevin King.
How did he have 5 picks? Who was throwing Kevin King 5 picks? Clinton Dix was good for them for a little bit.
I fuck with
Let's see. It was either or Zadarius Smith. What are you taking there? 5 picks, 13.5 sacks.
Go with the 5 picks.
Yeah,
that's good. Those are good numbers.
Was a guy that I thought was going to be so good for.
I loved him. Yeah, I mean, great name.
Yeah, exactly.
Clayton Paul's Dix.
Clinton Paws. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, this team is terrible.
Our defense is not going to be as good as last time, Ty.
Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan, 4 forced fumbles.
Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is another one.
Yeah. But okay, hear me out. We could go with Logan Ryan, 4 picks, 4 forced fumbles, or we put Kevin Byard in the flex. But if we get another big, like a lot of sacks, I like putting the edge rusher in the flex. I'm cool with whatever. We did see what Charles Tillman did though.
Let's see. I would be
105 tackles too. I mean, Jesus,
you're getting a lot of that there. 2019, Logan Ryan did something. Did something special.
Only guy
doing
under the radar out there. This team probably trash. I mean, Cincinnati in this era did not. Have they ever had a defense?
No, this was like the really rough era too.
6 picks.
They had a few guys. Leon Hall wasn't terrible.
What are the safeties looking like? I mean, the best one is Jonathan Joseph there. 20 pass deflections, 68 tackles, and a forced fumble.
20. No, down here. Leon Hall, man.
Oh, 24. 24. Oh, wow.
Let's see.
And 2 forced fumbles.
I feel like I missed.
You're not missing much. I mean,
it's pretty rough up here. Yeah, I would
just put him in the flex.
Yeah.
That's what they make you the flex for.
Leon, welcome to the squad, buddy. All right, Dallas. You're getting some
kind of a bad era as well.
This is right after they're kind of winding down.
This is not looking great.
This is not great.
We got a guy with 38 tackles. 38 tackles. Dude, oh my God.
As a linebacker, that's tough. We don't need anything else.
We got a defensive tackle that was halfway decent.
Edge defensive tackle, Ty.
Even DeMarcus Ware, his best season was 8
Leroy Glover coming down.
Fumbles.
This is like the end of his career, I believe.
That's solid, though. That'll do.
God, we have 3 Packers on this team.
Reggie Smith.
We have 3 Packers on this team, Ty.
I mean, that's the best we're going to do here.
We're raking it in. 2 Eagles, right?
We got a good Jeremiah Trotter day here. 110. 3.5 sacks.
Yeah, that's the best we're gonna get.
Best we got. Defense isn't as good, but it'll do.
Let's see. Wow, same.
Still a 97.
Same.
Right.
I'm honestly surprised the offense isn't above the defense with this offense. I think Jermichael Finley and Geno Smith significantly hindered our team. We got kind of unlucky there, but
I mean that offense is insane. How 90 is disrespectful, bro.
I feel like it is, right?
Randy and Tyreek.
Geno Smith is managing this team. He's going out there and slinging it.
3 guys did things that we've hardly ever seen. 2,000 yards, 23 touchdowns is the most ever. And 1,800 yards? That's like
And
top 5.
23 touchdowns from a
23.
receiver.
That's the
I
most
mean,
ever.
come on. What are we doing? What are we doing with this 90 overall rating? That is
20-0. If you see this,
yeah, fix
put
this.
some damn respect on Geno and Jermichael Finley.
I get that Geno sucked this past season, but we can't be letting that influence his past performances.
I wonder if we had gone with AJ Barner and then gotten Rodgers or Favre,
how much it would have upped it. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, because Jermichael Finley and Barner are kind of in like the same tier production wise. Anyways, that was
not
fun,
bad though.
Interesting. I'll be conquering that learning curve and getting on that game more. But that'll do it for this episode, you guys. You guys know where to find us on Jenks Island at social media and wherever you get your podcast at Jenks Island as well. Make sure to go check out our restructuring the NFL episode and comment on that and comment on this. Comment your thoughts on the trades as well. We want to hear what you guys think. We will see you guys next week.